Hey guys, let me talk to you about environmental factors when it comes to marketing and business. You got 5 environmental factors. You got technology, demographics, government or politics, culture, economics. Technology can have a big impact on government. Any one of you old enough to remember what a typewriter is know that they really don't exist anymore. After decades of being around, the word processor showed up and wiped them out. And this is the kind of stuff that can happen to business. Okay, travel agencies, as soon as the internet showed up, boom, travel agencies out the window. Okay, so that's the type of technology, and you need to think in that realm. Demographics, you have a shift. You have aging populations, you have dying economies in certain areas, and then people evacuating those areas. Right now I've got a situation in another strategy class at another school where we're talking about a certain city in Florida that has this giant gap. They have a nice young population and then an old population. The middle is just not there. It's so sparse, they're having issues with attracting talent for management type jobs, and they have management type jobs in positions such as government, for instance, that you have people getting ready to retire and no one there to take their place. So demographics have a big impact. Politics or government. Depending on the type of government that comes in, you either have a free market person or you have a government dominated type policy individual. It's going to have a big impact on your business. If things aren't handled properly, if Federal Reserve, for instance, is printing money, all they're doing is devaluing the dollar. You start getting things like inflation. So politics, government, big issue. Culture. Culture is a big issue depending on where you're operating. Most businesses are entrepreneurial small businesses. These corporations that are huge are probably less than 5% of the overall workforce. So when you have different cultures that start taking over certain areas, for instance, in this area where I live, I was born in Tampa, and I still live in Tampa, although I have lived in other cities such as Washington and Miami when I worked for the government. When I lived in this particular area where I reside now, it was, very predictable who you were going to see. You weren't going to see a lot of Dominican people. You weren't going to see very many Asian people. You weren't going to see very many black people. And now this is just a complete mix of everybody. You can go and get any type of food you want from all types of restaurants. There's different types of stores available that sell anything from all of the items I just mentioned, from the cultures I just mentioned, and more. So things shift. You have to recognize that as a business person, and you have to shift with it. And then overall economics, the economics of a country, the economics of a community, that's a huge mover in the market. You have to be very careful and be in tune with that. We don't open up a Tiffany's store in an area that is economically deprived, because you're just simply not going to make any money doing that. It's just a lost cause. So paying attention to the economic wins, huge. All right, a couple other things. Let's talk about value chain for a second. Value chain is a very important thing when you're talking about strategy. You got a firm's infrastructure, human resource management, tech development, procurement. Now, those are support services in the value chain. Look down below. You see things such as inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales and service. That's the core of your business. All of those value chains, as in a chain pulling a truck, if you will, have to work in unison. If one is weak, you're going to have a break, and the output in the end just isn't going to work. Okay? Please make sure that you read the assigned readings before you attempt to do these assignments. Very important. All right? Good luck, and I'll bring you more soon.